Where's Sakura?
It's fucking news, bro. I got slugs and
And I stood up and I started clapping.
My favorite arc is the Sasuke rescue arc. Every fight in that arc was absolutely amazing because I got to see side characters shine. I was just like, hell yeah. Like, my respect and my love for them, even Kiba, was like
Peak.
pretty high.
That was like peak
Legit.
Kiba, yeah.
Absolutely.
Both your
Yeah.
favorite arcs are the same.
Yeah, that is my favorite arc. It was like a good bonding between them because they were like rivals before, or they came from different teams. They weren't especially close to each other, and they were competing against
Yeah,
each other
exactly.
beforehand. And now it's just like, alright, like
Powers
those
combined.
games are over. We have to save one of our own. Half the team
Yeah.
like didn't even like Sasuke. I'm pretty sure they said that at the beginning. Like Shikamaru's motivation speeches. I didn't really like Sasuke. He's not someone I particularly like. But he's from our village, and so we go over after him.
They shared like a bond that they were all in the same academy together, but that's as far as their bond went. And then in doing this, they kind of got closer to each other. I really would have liked to see in the future if they still had that kind of bond where it would have developed and like Neji and Kiba and Choji and Shikamaru like all kind of became this clique where they were able to connect based on their experiences.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also like that
But,
it seems so random who he chose to go on that mission. Like, you know, who was left out, like Shino and most of the girls and stuff.
All
like,
the girls, isn't it?
yeah.
It was funny that you just mentioned Shino because Shino was the only dude I think that got left out.
He was too OP at the time, man. Wouldn't have been fair
Maybe.
for the Sound Ninja.
Technically, yeah, in the forest with all that bugs, he'll detect them straight away.
Yeah, he would have been amazing. But
Mm.
yeah, I just love that whole mini arc. I wouldn't even call it a mini arc, but it was like very simple, very straightforward. Go get Sasuke. He's run away. Then they introduced the Sound 4, which I really liked the Sound 4. I mean, I didn't love them, but I think they were good enough villains, and they played their role as their counterpart to each.
They had to die.
Yeah.
And they had interesting enough powers. I really enjoyed Tayuya, the flute girl, who was versing Shikamaru.
She has like demons. She summons demons or something, and she can control them with her flute.
She looks like a succubus Vulpix.
She had to like challenge him to like think outside the box, and he had to like break his own finger to get out of her genjutsu.
Yeah, but Tamari is just like a deforestation machine, and then she's just like, woo, fangirl brr, you know? And then
And then the fight with Jirobo, the big guy, against Choji, and Choji went all fucking butterfly skinny mode and shit. Like, who didn't get hyped when Choji went skinny mode and just like
Yeah, that
had
was
the
great,
pills,
man.
you know, the food pills? Like, oh my god, that was such an amazing moment. And like, it was so sad because you thought Choji was gonna die.
Yeah, that was heartbreaking.
he went too far.
With Choji, how the Sound 4 guy that he's fighting, he keeps like talking to him saying like, oh, your friends abandoned you. They saw that you were the weakest link. That's why they left you behind. And you
Yeah.
can see like Choji's like even starting to believe it as well. But like his thought process is like, you know, that Shikamaru wouldn't do that to him. But even if so, and even if he is the weakest and they're leaving him behind, he's not going to like let them down either. And so he's like sacrificing himself because that's what it is to him. Is by taking those pills, it's like a death sentence. And he's like going to go all out like, yeah, I'm still going to protect them either way. And before that, he's having like memories of when he's a kid and no one wanted to play with him and stuff and having difficulty making friends. And his dad's with
Isolation.
him. And then Shikamaru comes out to hang out with him and he's like, you want to hang out? And they run off together to be friends. And like you can feel like kind of like the relief in Choji's dad is like, oh, my kid's going to be okay. Even from Choji's dad's view, he's like, you know, worried for his son that his son's not going to fit in or find happiness with, you know, friends. But there's nothing, it's not like a fight that he can do for him. His son just has to do that himself. And as Choji's like defeated that guy and he's like walking, he sees that the rest of the team have carved into the tree like, hurry up, Choji, we're waiting for you. And he's just like, you know, fuck man, I do have friends and stuff.
Did he start crying, right? I think
He started
I started crying when
so
I
he's
watched
like-
that, man. I teared up, yeah. And it's just like, if he is dying because he thought he was dying, he's like dying happy with like the knowledge that his friends didn't abandon him. They believed in him to overcome that guy, and they believed that he'd catch up with them. Yeah, man. So
Yeah,
I
that's
love that
cool.
arc.
What was the other fight? Neji. I love the Neji's fight, man. Because the guy's like, bro, I know the Hyuga clan's weakness. This fucking one particular angle in your field of vision is actually a blind spot, and I will fucking shoot my arrows at that blind spot forever. And then, like, he got him.
He got
And,
wrecked.
you know, Neji eventually won, but it was great. You got to see his thought processes after being defeated by Naruto. Like, you know, Naruto, when he was fighting Neji was all about, you can't go against your fate and all that. And then Naruto changed his mind, and then you got to see how Neji projected those new thoughts. And then, yeah, you're just like, oh man, Neji did change for the better.
But wasn't it like at that point similar? Like I thought Neji was dying at that point, just like I thought Choji was gonna die.
They were all on the verge of death, like after
exactly.
their fights.
Yeah.
But at that
Because
time, I thought
so
Neji
strong.
was dead.
Oh, did you? I don't remember.
Or like I
thinking
thought
Neji.
that like this is like the end of him. Yeah.
That happens later on, John. That happens at the end of Naruto.
Yeah.
But yeah, also Kiba, you know, with Ukon, the guy that could like split into two bodies, and then like, you know, it's funnily enough, that's the fight I remember the least. But
Dude, I like that guy as a villain, like how that guy used to rage and get angry, and like that bit when Kankuro comes and he like traps him in like side the puppet, and the guy's screaming like, "Hey, let me out of here!" And then like the swords just go inside and kill him. It's like bittersweet because they're overcoming and they're defeating their opponents, but they're also dropping off. Like Choji died, then Neji died. It's like shit, man. They're like dropping like flies.
yeah, no one's gonna be able to catch up to Naruto and help out.
And
which
even
no one did.
Shikamaru is like, this is like the worst case scenario where we're all like breaking off. And it shook him as well. Like that whole mission, like that ended in like 3 people almost dying. He's like,
Yeah.
fuck man, I don't want to be a leader
he
anymore.
felt it
Like,
later
I
on.
can't do this.
He's
Yeah.
like, dude, yeah, I couldn't handle like the lives of these men myself. Like, I don't want to be this kind of leader.
And his dad has to go to him like, well, the situation's still going to happen. So you're just like giving away your responsibility, even though you have the capability because you're smart
Yeah.
to do stuff like that. So it's like, you're just trying to hide from it. And that's when Tamari first like starts talking shit to him. Like,
Why didn't you fucking man up and like grow
Yeah.
some balls? And then Shikamaru's
Yeah.
like, you're right. Like, there were so many hype moments there. And another thing that was amazing was witnessing Rock Lee make his comeback against Kimimaro. Like, he was like the secret boss character of the Sound 4. Like, he's like the Green Ranger as well. He's like, appears out of nowhere and you're just like, who is this guy?
I got Grinch when I watched him though. Like, no offense, like just his jutsu, like pulling out his bone. I was like,
Oh, you thought it was like disgusting?
it was
Yeah,
no, like
I mean,
I
a lot
felt,
of people did.
I felt like sick watching it. Like, you know, when he's pulling out his
Yeah.
bones, I was like, oh my god.
I thought that was so cool.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing.
I thought it was kind of cool, but I felt bad.
Like, it's a disgusting technique,
Yeah.
but yeah,
It's
it was
OP
cool
as
to
hell.
watch.
Yeah.
Probably why I didn't like him.
But Kimimaro, the
Yeah.
other reason why I thought he was cool when he came on the scene is that he had a bloodline ability, which up until that point, we hadn't seen that many.
And like seeing him fight against Rock Lee, like, was
Drunken
so
style?
awesome. Yeah, the drunken Rock Lee
Yeah.
fight. Oh my god, I love the music that was playing as well at the time. But I love just like the imagery of Rock Lee just like doing this with his fists, and he's like got those eyes that are like half open.
Yeah,
and he's like,
droopy.
"Oh." And then, you know, Gaara comes in, and that was just as hype as well. Like, fucking Gaara comes in and saves the day. Oh, so
Yeah.
It's so
Gaara.
great, yeah. Like it's Naruto versus Kimimaro, and then Rock Lee comes in. It's like, all right, man, the cavalry's arrived, and then he's struggling as well. And then Gaara arrives again. It's like, oh man, the second
Yeah.
cavalry's arrived.
Yeah, that moment when like the Sand Village ninjas come, you're just like,
Yeah,
oh,
that
and
was-
Fuck
you're
man,
just
things
like,
seem so dire, and now it's like, now it's your turn to get fucked.
like, it was really amazing to see Gaara save Rock Lee as well, and just like be that complete opposite of what he was. Like, this is the man that was the reason why Rock Lee was
Fucked him up,
suffering,
yeah.
and now he's his savior.
And then Gaara lost. Well, would have lost.
Gaara won, didn't he?
Yeah, only because Kimimaro was sick.
Kimimaro died.
And was dying.
And then last fight, you know, Sasuke versus Naruto, like, animated wise, it was amazing. Like, I still remember the bit where like Naruto's got like this fucking huge like ladder of shadow clones that is just like they're all holding onto each other. They're all like swinging around it like Sasuke trying to get to him. It was like the first ever iconic like beam clash between a Rasengan and a Chidori.
And Sasuke
like-
is like curse sealed too, with like the transformation with those
Yeah, with the
weird
wings, right?
fishy
it's the
hand wings. Yeah. When I saw that design, I'm like, what even is that? It makes no sense, but it's so cool. They're like wings, but they're hands and they're like webbed. Like, who thinks up this stuff?
To be honest though, I wasn't a huge fan of that design of Sasuke's curse seal.
I liked it. I liked it.
I thought it looked cool. I thought it looked scary because his hair also gets longer and like he has like that whole wicked vibe about him.
it's
Like,
demon form.
What I did like was Naruto going into fucking Nine Tails form, and like that was the first time you ever see like the outline of the of the Ninetales aura around him. And like, yeah, I mean, I don't have like honestly anything negative to say about that because there was no filler. Like, it was all fucking straight up great action, like great character development for all the side characters. All I'm gonna say is like, why wasn't Shino there? Like, come on, like, why they gotta do my boy Shino like that?
100%.
It would have made sense if like Shino was there and Kankuro saved Shino, you know, like because
That'd be
Temari
cool,
saved
yeah.
Shikamaru
Oh,
and
yeah,
Gaara
yeah.
saved Lee. I guess, you know, Kishimoto's like, I'll give Kiba this one, you know, he's his last chance to shine.
Give the dog a bone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
In some shonen anime, when there's like multiple fights happening, there's the one or two fights that you don't really give a shit about, and there's the one that you really want to watch.
Yeah,
and they keep shifting from one to the other. Like, this one didn't have that. They were all great fights to watch. Like, I was very satisfied with that arc.
So that was the peak of Naruto for you guys.
That was peak Naruto for me.
Same, yeah. I mean, it also goes back to like that time when I was young and living there, like, you know, all good times.
Yeah, I was in my teens, and anime was still fairly new to me, and like the whole shonen genre wasn't like completely laid out yet. Another thing I loved about the Sasuke retrieval arc is the OP they used at the time was like about the Sasuke retrieval arc, and it was so well animated. It was just like the 5 dudes just like running on cliffs and shit and just going through the trees and stuff. It looked fucking amazing, and I love that song as well.
So what about you, Xavier?
Well, I have an arc that I feel the most way about, and that is the Great Ninja War.
Does that mean it's your
Great
favorite?
Ninja War. I mean, it's the one that I feel the most about because I have the most feels throughout that.
Are you talking about the entire Ninja War?
I didn't like it all the way through, but I had a lot of feels.
For me, it's until Kaguya appeared. That's probably when...
That's not really the Ninja War.
I mean, it is.
For me, the whole thing
Isn't the Ninja War the entire final arc? Like,
that's true.
From beginning to end?
So the Ninja War up to the point of Kaguya, because you don't really want to talk about Kaguya because that becomes its own isolated story where everyone else is literally asleep. I mean, you can say it's a part of the Ninja War. But
for me, the Ninja War was good because, like, you get to see a lot of things.
yeah,
in Ninja
exactly,
War. So,
exactly. Is that
like,
the most story gets resolved in the Ninja War?
For me, you get to see the 7 swordsmen of the mist. Like, you always
that was
wondered
awesome.
about them, and they all got their weapon back and became so
That was
OP.
very cool. But it was too short-lived, man.
Oh, it's short-lived, yeah, but because it's a big arc. So that...
I felt the revealing of like
And-
the swords was kind of disappointing to me though.
Yeah, some of them, like the needle guy, I was like, whatever. But you get to see the tail beast fights, like the 2-tail, 3-tail, 4-tail, all against the 8 and 9-tail. Naruto actually becoming friends with Kurama. The 4 Hokages.
They pretty much just did everything, right?
They
It was
did
the
everything.
final moment for everything. Like,
And-
it was just this big spectacle.
And like, you
but-
see how OP Madara is.
Yeah, you saw Madara just take on the world. I will say though, the most amazing moment for me was fucking Guy versus Madara.
Guy versus
and
Madara,
Guy
yeah.
unlocking all the gates.
Does guys survive that?
Yeah.
Naruto.
They just lost the
Naruto
leg.
becomes Jesus.
The Holy Spirit Naruto comes.
Yeah. Power of
Yeah.
Jutsu compels you. Fucking-
What I was going to talk about with the Ninja War was mainly how it resolved a lot of the story's kind of mythos. So you learnt more from the exposition of characters like the Hokages when they were talking to Sasuke, and about the story of the Leaf and everyone's kind of plans to try to create a world of peace. But the Ninja War was by far like as satisfying an end for Naruto as one could ask for, and then they just went and shat the bed with Kaguya. I was like, you didn't need to. The Ninja War wasn't disappointing at all. It was actually what you wanted.
For me, it was disappointing.
I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Like, I want to say that the pacing of it wasn't done very well.
It's where I dropped it.
What would have made it nicer is if each fight wasn't its own separate thing. It kind of felt very disconnected from each other, everything that was going on. This happens and then it finishes. This happened and finishes. This happened and finishes.
Right.
This happened and finishes.
Episodic.
Yeah, and it wasn't bad, like, but it wasn't too amazing either.
It was amazing. Okay.
The core parts of each fight were pretty cool, but I'm just saying, like, how it melded just didn't really attract me.
It was my favorite arc in Shippuden.
Right, and it lost me with what Xavier said with the Kaguya thing. I
That was a
like,
great
why
betrayal. I was
Why
like,
can't
wow.
Madara be the final villain? Like, he's a great villain, you know? And it's like if fucking you were on Namek in Dragon Ball Z and then, like, fucking Cell comes out of the sky and punches Frieza's head and is like, what's up, bitches, you know? Like, what
It does.
the fuck?
Yeah, like the way Madara died was very like anticlimactic.
Worse than anticlimactic.
It is. It was like
Worse
bad.
than anticlimactic.
He was a character I really enjoyed. Like,
He literally beat
Madara.
the Kages into the ground. All the Kages.
Beat everyone, man. He was undefeatable. You know, like
Except my guy.
Yeah.
He nearly killed his ass.
nearly killed him. Yeah. And I'll give honorable mentions to Kakashi's fight with Obito. I thought that was pretty cool.
Interdimensional play.
Yeah. I honestly hated how like they brought Sakura in at the final part against Kaguya, and then I'm just like, why is Sakura here? Like, I know you want to go the whole Team 7 route.
It's the
like,
Team 7. It was
just-
the Team 7 thing. And that's
But I'm
kind
just
of why I...
She comes in hard.
But you've got like Sasuke, who's like ninja samurai level 20,000. You got Naruto, who's become the son of God, and then you've got pink hair girl who punches really hard and heals.
Like, the one part I want to mention, which is kind of funny, is that like she mentions there that like I can fight with them, and then like Naruto gets the yin part or yang part, and Sasuke gets the other one.
Yeah.
And it's like, where's
And
Sakura?
Sakura's like, you know, she's like, yeah, it's fucking good, bro. I got slugs.
And then I saw it and I stood up and I started clapping. I was like,
Yeah, it was like, yep, you're no longer part of that world. Yeah. Oh no, she gets the thing then, like that.
Yeah, she gets the diamond in
the
her head.
diamond. Yeah, that's what she gets. She gets the diamond in the head.
They know they did Madara wrong. I think that's a real problem with like this character was literally too strong, and then they just screwed,
What do we do with him?
Screwed
What
him
do we
like
do?
a $2.
I know, we'll
hooker.
make someone stronger than him.
We'll blow him up
then-
from the inside.
A lot of people who you didn't know about had moments of shining. Like I kind of liked that Kage Onoki. You know, the little dwarf
The old
guy
man?
who
The old man, yeah.
who stops
Stone man.
the meteor from coming down and stuff. I was like, that's
He had a
pretty
cool
cool.
moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Tsunade got the shaft in the Kages.
But that's I think because you've seen Tsunade. Like the others you haven't.
Yeah, but I wanted to see Tsunade change. Like, I wanted her to do more.
Take
like,
flight,
Just
you know?
punch
No, but
really
like
hard.
you can't really change her because she's part of that old legacy. Like, I was surprised they
What do you
didn't
mean you
kill her.
can't change her? Dude, they changed Jiraiya. Like, I'm just saying new and better
No.
technique. Jiraiya had Sage mode, and he had, like, you know, the other frogs on his shoulder and stuff. Like, you thought it just stopped at, you know, summoning toads and Rasengan? No, he kept going. Like, but, you know, Tsunade started at punching really hard and being a great healer to ending at the same spot as well. Like, it's just...
Yeah,
yeah,
and
nothing
just
changed
with
with
some
her.
tattoos.
No, yeah, for me it's just more like she's part of the people that you kind of have to. Okay, like you're no longer
Dismiss
relevant.
as dismiss.
Yeah, in a sense,
Yeah,
like
okay.
Wow.
I can understand.
You want her to just sit next to Kiba? Is that what you wanted to do?
No, I don't. But I'm saying like that's probably the case because you don't have enough space. Like you don't have enough time to portray.
I'm saying
that.
they should make enough time for Tsunade because she deserves it. Like, she's the fucking Hokage of the village, and like she's the legendary Sannin.
And Naruto wants to be
Well,
her
like,
one day.
Like in
Yeah.
all honesty, Orochimaru didn't do anything either in the whole war. Like he didn't fight.
Yeah.
Technique,
But we were also
fight-wise,
disappointed
yeah.
in him too.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, ask
I
John.
mean, I'm kind of glad. Now I'm kind of glad Jiraiya died because they probably would have fucked him up too. You know, like fucking.
Yeah, it's true.
Fuck the Sannin, right?
Well, it was more about the new Sannin. That's what it was.
But like that war went on forever. Are you telling me they couldn't have given a moment to Tsunade to just
Well, no,
like,
because Tsunade look,
do something?
because Tsunade was fighting Madara. It was to portray Madara. It wasn't to portray Tsunade.
But the other Kages did
Yeah.
do stuff that was
They
really
had
cool.
moments of shining. Yeah, I know what you're saying, Christian.
I just wanted Tsunade to do something cool.
Gara had a
Yeah.
fight, but all the other four, like the Raikage, didn't do anything. Onuki like stopped the rock. That's all he did, and
And talked
the
about how
girl
old he
didn't really
is.
do much as well. Like Tsunade didn't do much.
The
It was
girl is
because they were-
Mizukage, right?
Yeah, the Mizukage.
Mizukage.
But it was because they were fighting Madara. I think they were trying to portray Madara as like Madara walks all over these Hokage.
But now I'm just talking about Tsunade in general. Couldn't they
Yeah.
have just given her
Yeah,
something at any
yeah,
point?
yes,
of the show?
that's what I'm saying, David. I don't think you understood. Is that they didn't extend her.
I guess, didn't you say like Naruto did like a mass heal or something?
Yeah,
to bring
Naruto
up-
got powers from the Sage of the Six
Naruto
Paths.
like made all
Did-
healers irrelevant because he could
Exactly.
heal
Well, that's
because
what Tsunade does. Like, she's a healer. So I guess like if Naruto is doing the mass heal, making them relevant,
and
it's
then
kinda, like, overshadowing
Sakura
them.
became better than Tsunade as well. And then you're just like, Tsunade, what are you doing here now? Like,
Yeah, she's old.
they done her dirty, man. They done her dirty.
They probably did.
But yeah, anyway.
Speaking of Tsunade, my favorite arc is the search for Tsunade. That was probably my favorite arc.
Really?
Oh
So
wow.
Tsunade.
Okay. Everyone's
So-
entitled to their opinion.
No, I respect that. I think
Yeah.
that's a good arc.
The search of Tsunade was the time you get to
Episodes-
see Jiraiya bond with Naruto. It was that time where they traveled together and
Teaching him Rasengan.
yeah, and you don't see anyone teaching anyone any jutsu. Kakashi
You're
taught
right, actually.
Kakashi taught Sasuke Chidori like off screen, and it was like, oh wow, he can do Chidori. You can see the struggle to get to the Rasengan, and then it became like Naruto's trademark, right? Naruto needs two people. Like obviously now he can do it one-handed, but before it was always like makes a shadow clone then does the Rasengan. It was like a Naruto thing. You don't see anyone in any anime like how they learn to use the jutsus.
It's implied it takes many years of discipline and mastery.
It's quite rare to see a scene
It
where
is.
it's getting trained like
Yeah.
by someone.
Yeah,
So
because of the nature of the hand signs, because like no one wants to see people just practice.
Yeah.
and this is where I started to like Jiraiya more as well, because Naruto never had that figure that he looked up to, other than
father
Iruka
figure.
Sensei. Remember there was that scene where he bought ice blocks, or was it Jiraiya that bought the ice block? I don't remember. But
Jiraiya bought them.
Jiraiya bought him and split it with Naruto, and that became kind of like a thing.
That was their moment.
And then when
because,
Jiraiya
Naruto
passed
had
away-
seen like a father doing that for his son, and Naruto wanted that bonding experience
Yeah.
between a father and son. But Jiraiya's like, nah, bro, that ain't how it works here. You go train, I go see the bitches, and then
Later
at
on,
one
he
point-
just does it. Yeah,
Yeah, he
It
does
made
at
it
the
cool,
end.
and then when he passed away as well, he had the ice block, the same ice block, but no one to split it with until Iruka Sensei
Yeah.
came, of course. But it was like, that's when I really liked Naruto as well, with Naruto and Jiraiya. Also, a part of that as well, when they got introduced to Tsunade, and Orochimaru was also chasing after Tsunade and had the Sun-In fight. The best part for me from there was the triple summoning. It was always the Sun-In thing, right? Where they all summon their beasts.
Manda.
Manda, Gamabunta, and Katsuya.
I forgot her name.
Katsuya? Is that right?
Katsuyu?
Those three fighting each other. That was like a really cool scene. And that's why, for me, the Ninja War became iconic for me, was when Sasuke, Naruto, and Sakura summoned their animals. I don't know how Sasuke has
was like
double
a
summoning, but he does.
Reference.
And then, like, the cool part of that three summoning was the third Hokage could see that. And he was like, yeah, the torch has been passed. It's like, this is the future. This is the future generation.
About that arc, the Tsunade retrieval arc, I really like the bit where Naruto actually gets his Rasengan off on Kabuto as
Yeah.
well. And Kabuto just goes fucking flying, and then he's just like, fuck yeah, Naruto!
Yeah, when he, like,
go!"
stopped the kunai with his hand, and he's just like, I'm stuck.
Yeah. Anything
And
else
then-
you want to add there?
Yeah, anyone, like, yeah, for me, that's it. Like, I think I'll just say, like, that's my favorite arc. I'll
Do you
try.
include the bit with Itachi and Sasuke in that arc at the beginning? You know how Itachi...
Yeah, you could mention that as well. Yeah, like,
It's like,
yeah.
you know the meme with
Against
Itachi
the wall,
holding Sasuke up to the
gets
wall?
stronger.
What did he say to him? He's like,
お前は弱い。
yeah, yeah, because you're weak. Didn't he Tsukiyomi him? He did, right? Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he Tsukiyomi did.
Just like-
And then Jiraiya just summoned like this fucking...
Toad esophagus. Yeah.
Itachi Amaterasu did it, right? Like, to escape.
Yeah, he burned a hole right through it. And then Naruto's like, what's this black fire? And he's about to touch it. And Jiraiya's like, fucking idiot, stop.
This is before Sasuke became, like, really emo. Like, he was actually,
That's the
like...
beginning of his emo point. That was the beginning.
Yeah,
Like,
But at
Right.
that point,
Why,
Sasuke
why?
still cared a lot about Naruto because, like, it wasn't even so much to see Itachi and to kill Itachi. He was like, you know, he knew Naruto was in danger.
Yeah, and he, like, Chidori'd the wall for no reason.
Oh, that was awesome.
dude, are you serious? I was
thought-
just like, dude, what's this unnecessary damage, sir? Like, why don't you just hold it normally down on the ground?
Because it looks
why
cool.
fucking- He's like those dumb kids that has a stick and he's just like fucking keying cars and shit, you know?
Like, the innkeeper's like, my establishment. Why?
I'll go first. My least favorite arc is one that I barely even remember. Has to do with Sasuke, funnily enough, and rescuing him, I guess. It's in Shippuden when
Oh, the first
like,
rescue
it's just
save kind of
after it's just after Gaara and that whole sand village thing, and it's just about Naruto and Sakura trying to save Sasuke from, I think it was Orochimaru.
I think when
remember.
Shippuden, the
Naruto-
anime, came back, it started off with like a piece of that arc before it went back to like Gaara. I think it's because people were so like horny for like more Sasuke at that point because like he had a massive fan base.
His clothes for that was horrible. Like,
It's like
It's half naked
touch me
kimono.
clothes.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
just like,
it's
it was
like,
horrible.
Oh. Like he was just ready for it to slip and just be like, ooh.
That's what he does, though.
The Fujoshi's loved him.
But like that arc was so fucking boring. Like holy shit! Like we already knew how it was gonna end up because of that thing at the beginning of Shippuden. Like,
Hey man, what about Yamato, man? Yamato.
yeah, that was the introduction of Captain Yamato, and I think Sai as well.
Sai.
That's another character.
I was gonna
that
say
I just
Sai
didn't give a
forgot.
shit about.
Yeah.
Like, who
Sai
gives
is,
a fuck about Sai? Like, oh my
Replacement
god.
Sasuke. Who wants to be a replacement?
Who would have thought
Sasuke?
that a replacement for Sasuke would be worse than Sasuke? Like,
Yeah.
it's just like, man, you're fucking.
And he was wearing a crop top, right? He had a crop top.
Yeah.
Oh god, yeah.
Oh, I come.
That was
Hey,
crazy.
true ninja style.
I wasn't a fan of Sasuke, but I'm still like, you know,
Big shoes
you know,
to
come
fill.
on.
All right.
Yeah, that arc was pretty bad.
Yeah, like the
I really
only
defend that.
worthwhile thing that happened was like that was the first time Naruto went like all Fox Blackie. He was versing Orochimaru, and then you know he does this Biju, and Orochimaru does like this triple fucking summon of like this big wall.
Yeah.
Like that was cool. I like that.
Sasuke met the fox. That was part of the arc as well.
And then I don't even really remember how that arc ends. Like it just they found Sasuke and Sasuke's like, I don't want to come with you. I'm
that's-
evil. And then the arc ends, and you're like, well, okay. And then the next arc was filler, and then I'm like, well, I'm dropping this show now. On to reading the manga.
Okay. Well, my least favorite arc is obviously Kaguya. I mean, if you count that as an arc.
I
It
don't
just-
count that as an arc.
We
but
can.
you
I think we can because it is
Yeah.
it is its own separate thing. It feels like an own separate thing.
This is a new villain, and this new villain also renders everyone else in the story irrelevant.
She's
You
like,
know?
side character no jutsu, Kiba no jutsu, and then everyone fucking becomes Kiba and
Kiba,
irrelevant.
yeah.
And then,
Obito had his moment though in that
He
fight.
did.
Like without
He did.
Obito, they wouldn't have won.
This is true.
but she didn't
It-
need to exist, so
Yeah.
then
Yeah,
who cares?
Because it literally shows Matrix dreams of like everyone's fantasies and stuff, and you're just like, you know, this is cute, but you know how long we've been waiting? This is what you give us?
I think it's just her appearance more than anything that everyone was just like, what the fuck? Who is this
Yeah,
lady?
because
Well-
you always thought it was all about like the sixth sage was the highest, right? Was she mentioned before that though, or was that the first time they kind of mentioned?
If she
Kaguya?
was, it was barely, because it wouldn't have surprised that many people if she was like foreshadowed. That was the issue, right? She just wasn't really mentioned,
Yeah.
brought up,
Yeah.
foreshadowed, whatever.
There was no prep for her at all. And then she just literally destroys the most powerful villain
Yeah,
anyone
like-
has
Yeah.
seen. And it's just like,
blew him
huh?
up like a balloon.
And that was the
Being
final
popular.
arc, man. I'm just like, oh.
No, the
my
final arc is
God.
Sasuke versus Naruto.
That's an arc as well. What are these like fucking 2-episode arcs for you guys? Like what the hell?
Oh,
Kaguya
separate.
wasn't 2 episodes.
No, I'm talking about the Sasuke and Naruto fight.
That
Like
was-
that,
No.
that was like a few episodes. That's not an
No,
arc.
that's
Like
no,
that's all part of the
that's
Ninja War.
Yeah.
I don't know. Okay,
But
yeah,
but the Ninja War's too big. That's the thing.
it's like
First
the
half.
beginning, the middle, and the end.
Like there are phases of the Ninja War. So it is the best and the worst arc simultaneously.
If we count that all as one arc, then yeah.
Anyway, that's my answer.
Yeah, John.
Yeah, my least favorite arc would definitely have to be in Shippuden when Team 7 teamed up with Team 8 to go looking for Sasuke.
Wasn't that filler?
No, that's not a
No,
filler.
no,
That's
it
not a
happened
filler.
in the
They
manga
did
because
look-
I read it. I didn't watch that stuff.
Felt like filler.
You see Kiba again, Hinata, Shino, and I felt that they weren't used.
that arc was Sasuke versus Deidara. Yeah,
That was probably the most interesting, and I don't think they even found Sasuke. I mean, that's kind of like when I started to like sour on Naruto. It just
I
felt
honestly
that
got
great.
to say, John, I agree with you a lot because I don't even remember this
Yeah.
at all. Like,
And like they
I don't
came
even
onto
know
the
what you're
scene like they were
talking
going to do something great. Like they had like these white cloaks, and it was kind of, I mean, you'd seen Team 8 before, but like it's like Team 8 in action now. So you'd already seen like the other teams returning and showing what they can do. And you don't really see anything of Team 8. They don't do anything impressive. I didn't even know how it ends. My memories of it is just disappointment. So I'd have to say
just
it.
shame and lack of self-respect.
I
Still
don't
watching
even
Ninja
know
War?
how to criticize it or what to say was wrong with it because I don't remember. I've tuned it out.
What's your worst, David?
So mine's controversial. You guys probably hate me for saying this, but mine is the Hidan Kakuzu arc.
I do hate you.
For me, I think an arc has to have a good villain.
Okay.
I think Hidan and Kakuzu are very bland. Like they're very stock standard villain. Like there is no.
Are you calling them Garlic Juniors?
Yeah, they're the Garlic Juniors for me. No, but like seriously, for me, that arc was just like I'm a bad guy. I'm gonna kill people. I like the Shikamaru versus Hidan. part, the revenge.
I love
that.
that.
Was a good fight.
It shows like his preparation.
Yeah, like that was Shikamaru's time
overcame
to shine.
Hidan's immortality.
Well,
So go on.
this is the worst arc according to David. So,
I mean, worse than the ones that we mentioned, John? Definitely not. But
No,
I don't know.
it's definitely not. Yeah, I would say they're worse than this, but those arcs didn't really have a villain. So
It was just more of. It was like literally like a middle part of the story.
yeah, it's just for me,
to
it's like
you.
a transition arc. Yeah. So for a big arc, like where there's a villain, I would say the Hidan Kakuzu.
I'm kind of 50-50 because honestly, like, I love Shikamaru, but I don't give a shit about Asuma. Like, I had no reason to care for him as a character.
oh well, baby doesn't have a father.
I cared about him in so much that what he meant to like Shikamaru and the rest of his team. Like you could feel like
you felt
them losing him meant something to them.
Yeah. Just for me, Hidan and is it Kakuzu? Is that Kakuzu?
Kakuzu, yeah.
Kaka
Like,
character.
there's no real backstory to them. One guy's like, I'm
They're
greedy,
just-
I want money. The other guy's like, I want to kill people because it's my ritual.
You know what they are, David? They're fodder.
They're fodder villains, yeah.
See,
a
I
lot
would
of
put
beating.
Sasori close to that, but at least Sasori had a backstory.
I love Sasori.
No, Sasori was a legit villain.
Yeah, that's what I
He
mean.
was
At least he had a backstory. Deidara
because he had
kind of had a
Kage
story as
connections.
well.
Yeah, but Kakuzu and Hidan were just kind of their own thing. They didn't have any ties to anyone or anything. Like,
Very bland
It was-
villains.
I didn't mind
For the
them. I
cutscene.
mean,
They're
with
scene villains.
Kakazu,
I didn't mind
thought
them either.
He could have been improved. Like there was something about him that just wasn't perfected.
It just seemed more like a side story.
I mean, it essentially kind of was a side story, right?
If that wasn't in Naruto, that was fine.
They just needed a way to kill these characters off because they were part of the Akatsuki. And they're just like,
See,
we
I
need to
would've-
kill these members off, man.
I would have liked it if he actually gave more than Team 10.
More spotlight to other teams.
Yeah, like all three of them. I would have preferred maybe if they had 3 Akatsuki members, and then each one had to fight one. So Hidan had to fight, Shikamaru and Choji.
Yeah.
Kakuzu
okay,
fought
yeah,
the
yeah,
other
yeah.
3 and the other 3, so then it makes it a bit more interesting. Like, okay, these side characters, this is your
Nah.
time to shine.
That's why
Whereas this is
Shikamaru
just-
is my favorite character.
I think it had some cool moments though. I liked Kakuzu's design, like his hearts and like.
The design is fun. It's just he had no character.
You could imagine Hidan going postal in like a post office, like with like a shotgun or something. Like he had
Yeah.
that crazy facial expression. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how they could have been made more compelling as villains. Yeah.
I did like
Well,
Hidan's character.
to me-
though. He was arrogant. He was vicious. He liked killing, kind of for the sake of it. But it was also because that was his religion, and kind of just how he relished in killing Uzuma as well. His backstory isn't like gone in deep, but he's from like I think a foreign land, like not even their land.
Hidan should be facing Kaguya. Maybe he has a chance 'cause he's immortal.
All right, I mean,
Yeah.
I can respect that. A bit of a hot take, sir.
Yeah, I enjoyed that arc. I enjoyed reminiscing about it. Thank you for bringing it up again.